with head coach Tony Aarons. Tony, 8-0 on the season, regular season. Win over Mount Vernon, you can't beat that. Give us a little breakdown on how you felt about the Mount Vernon game.
First of all, going through the season and not taking a hit on a Friday night, it shows that these kids have the ability to show up, play, and complete games. We had to take a long trip down to Mount Vernon then and play them, and it quite honestly was a little bit of a dirty game, and there's some composure issues that we were trying to manage down there. All in all, we take from that game some things that we need to learn on how to handle future games, and now we get an opportunity to head into a first round of a sectional game and have it here at home.
When you look at a successful team, everything has to always mesh together, but it always takes a really good senior group to be able to have a team like this.
Yeah, those guys, they have to understand it. They got to provide the leadership and be the example guys. And right now we've got a good group of kids who, they look up to the coaching staff, and I think they want to do, what their coaches are asking them to do. And by and large, they do that.
Okay, and first round, Boonville at home. What are your thoughts on the Boonville Pioneers the second time around?
Yeah, my biggest concern about Boonville's, of course, we played them several years ago in the same scenario. Regular season, we put it to them, and then we came into the sectional game and lost that game 11-8. So it's important that we understand that just because of what happened in the regular season is not going to repeat itself unless we show up to play. So, we've been reminding them that if you want to come out and win this game, you're going to have to play a solid game.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Nick, congratulations on the undefeated regular season, and now we're on to the second season. But before that, give us a little breakdown on Mount Vernon, how that game went.
Yeah, we played real well. They came out first previous 8 games in a spread offense, and then they come out in a traditional, what we kind of run, 2 tight ends, wing flanker. So our kids adjusted real well, and then obviously we got the shutout. So we played better than what I expected from the adjustments that we made.
Now, you got Boonville coming in. Are there any special challenges to playing a team for a second time during a season?
We just got to be ready to play for the most part. I mean, you can't take them for granted. We beat them 49-0, but a lot of things went right our way. Turnovers, bobbled punt, ran 80 yards for a touchdown, muffed a couple kickoffs that we got short fields on. So, we jumped on them early and made them capitalize on quick touchdowns and made them pay for it. So, you can't expect those breaks going into this game, and we got to just play sound offense, defense, and special teams if we're going to win.
Now, Boonville, familiar opponent, conference foe. Have they changed anything up since the first time we played them?
No, I haven't seen any difference in film from what we've watched, from our game to the previous games up to this point. Boonville's going to do what they've been doing, I think, and if they do something different, we'll be able to adjust and we'll be fine.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Offensive coordinator Jeff Mock, congratulations on an undefeated season. Tell us a little bit about the offense during the Mount Vernon game.
We were able to execute pretty well for the most part. Our offensive line needed to sustain blocks a little bit better, but they got on the initial contact. Sermon ran extremely hard in the first half, and then our line came around the second half, and we were able to move the ball pretty efficiently. Had some good plays. Passing game was slow to start out and then picked up a little bit later. I think we completed about 10 passes for a little over 100 yards, touchdown here. So it's always nice to have good balance on that.
Now you got Boonville again, a conference foe, a team you beat earlier in the season pretty handily. What are the special challenges to playing a team like this a second time?
Well, anytime you play them a second time, they're familiar with your personnel, they're familiar with what you do. Not that we change a whole lot from year in, year out, but with different personnel, you have some different tendencies that you tend to go through. So we need to go through, evaluate ourselves, find some tendency breakers for some of the things that we were consistent doing throughout the year. That's kind of what you look at. You do a little self-scout there. As far as their change, you got to kind of look at their personnel. They moved some guys around. Some people that played in the first game are playing different positions now, and a couple people that didn't play at all. So you have to evaluate the new guys that are there and see if you can take advantage of anything that they're giving you there. Overall, schematically, they're not going to change much. I mean, they're going to have a 6-man line, they're going to have a 5-man line, they're going to play 4-4 or 4-3 cover 2 and spread sets and passing situations. So, I mean, we have a pretty good idea of what they're going to do. It's pretty typical of what most high school teams are going to align. After that, it's just basically finding your personnel.
And, Sermi, he was banged up there for a little while. He's really come back strong and had a really nice end of the regular season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's always, we try and tell him to avoid a little contact, but he seems to run better with contact. He ran really well against Washington on a wet field, had some tremendous cuts. I think he's seeing the ball a little bit better. He's healthy, and I think maybe he's able to get to where he wanted to go earlier. I think he was pushing pretty hard, especially in that Vincennes game. He wanted to make up for a couple years ago where he coughed the ball up a few times. I think he was kind of pressing a little bit, and his body wasn't able to do what he really wanted it to do. And now that he's healthy again, he's really running like we expect him to.
Okay, one last person I think I've neglected to talk about all season. Wanted to get him in. He is a senior. Is your fullback Elliott? He's done a nice steady job for you this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's always nice. Cade's one of those kids that he's worked himself into a position. He's a great kid, academically tremendous. His community involvement is wonderful. He's active in both the school and his the Jasper community. So he's an all-around great kid. And whenever you can have a kid get an opportunity and able to take advantage of that opportunity like he has, he knows he's not going to carry the ball very much. He knows he's not going to catch the ball very much, but he kind of relishes his role in his position. He understands it, and he does it with the best effort that he has, and that's all you can ask. I mean, that's just kind of the way he's lived his life, and he's a tremendous player and a great asset for our team.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Sure.